Hi,
Yeah,
Daljit.
yeah.
So
So
today, like I got stuck in one situation. Like maybe like I need your help. I need to create a virtual machine using with Ubuntu machine. Like, can you tell me like how that's possible?
yeah, sure, Manish, we'll discuss this. So I
Thank you.
exactly I'm using Fedora here. So I'll be showing you how to do it on using a Fedora workstation, but the you know context it's similar to using any other Linux distribution. So like I'll show you which like I have hostname CTL. So if you do hostname CTL, it will tell you like what is my host. So you can see that I am using my operating system as Fedora 33 workstation. Okay. And what I have done is I have installed the package called virtualization. So on Fedora, it's called virtualization. It's like word install and things like that. So if you just Google like how to uh, you know how to install virtualization package, you'll get the answer like how to install uh, virtualization package on, let's say, on Fedora, because I'm more familiar with Fedora. So yeah,
And your machine, in local machine is Fedora, correct?
yes, yes, my local
Okay.
machine is Fedora. So
Base
getting
machine is
started,
Fedora.
yeah. So you can there is a complete document about how to do it with Fedora. So getting started with virtualization. So I'll paste this link here to you. So enabling hardware virtualization support. So basically, I'll just if you do sudo dnf install at virtualization, it will install all the packages which is related to libvirt, etc. So you will have similar packages on Ubuntu as well. So, but for the guest operating system, I'll show an Ubuntu demo as well as a CentOS demo to you. Okay. So I'll be giving you this link for reference. So I'm pasting it on the chat. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
yeah. So when people think of a virtual machine, they think that the same like desktop, they'll have an ISO installer and then they'll install, and installation takes 10 to 15 minutes. And so this is not very practical. Just imagine how we do it on a cloud. Okay, you select like if you want Fedora, or if you want an Ubuntu machine, or you want a CentOS machine, you just select that flavor and then you do next. And then you can, in a minute, a virtual machine is available to you, and then you can do SSH on it. So how can we replicate that functionality locally? And I will be using only the system tools. I'll not use any custom script and all. So how you can do it how you can do it easily? So there is a utility. One difference is that there is something called cloud image. Okay, so you have something called Fedora cloud image. So if you get to at Fedora project, or so these are like cloud based images. Okay, I'll give you this link also, okay, on the chat. So there is something called Fedora cloud images. So every project right now, whether it is CentOS, whether it is Ubuntu, so there is something called Ubuntu cloud images.
So is it a kind of Docker image or something? Like
No.
I can.
What is a cloud image? Basically, it's a very good question. That what is basically a cloud image is that you take an ISO, you install it on a virtual machine instead of hard disk, and then you take a snapshot of disk. So that is called
Okay.
a cloud image. So
Okay.
these people have already gone through the installation step. Basically, why we use a cloud image? Because see, for a cloud instance, like when we do an ISO install, ISO install is good for a real hardware install. Okay, because the cores are different. The basically the hardware platform is different. But when you are using a virtualization software, either people are using a hypervisor. So nothing is really different from the hardware we are using. So
Mm.
it's a very good question that what is a cloud image. To answer it is that you take the ISO installer, you deploy it on a virtualization platform like KVM or Hyper-V, and then the disk, which just after finishing the install, you take a clone of the disk, or
It's a
we call
kind
it
of
snapshot.
it's looks like me like a kind of pre-configured operating system which having all the stuff already installed?
Only the basic. I'll tell you now.
Basic ones.
It's a very good question. Pre-configured. Okay. Now it's not completely pre-configured. I'll tell you about how to customize it now. Now, say I want to create a user called Daljit on it. Okay. How do I do it? Because it's and how do I log into it? Because it's pre-configured, I don't have the password. If they have a common password, then anyone can log into the machine. Okay, so I really need that only if you have asked me to create a VM on a server and give it to you, one of your requirement will be that only you should be able to log in, not everyone in the company. Okay. So first of all, I'll give you this link of cloud images or ubuntu.com. So similarly, CentOS has its cloud images, Fedora has its cloud images, Red Hat has its cloud images. So this is about cloud images. And the next question that you ask, okay, and I have one of the cloud images downloaded here, like CentOS test one. I just created a directory, and I have, like, I have a cloud image called CentOS 7.qcloud2. Okay, let me see how much it is, how much size it is and all. So my cloud image basically is 819 MBs. Okay, so this is my cloud image. Okay, and sorry, when I downloaded it, like, this was the cloud image which I downloaded. Okay, I just copied it with a simpler name. I just removed that x86 just to make the name simpler. I just renamed it to CentOS 7, and so that's what I did. Okay, so let us create a new directory, or let's create a new directory. Let's say I'll say make directory CentOS uh, test2. Okay, I do cd, then I do CentOS uh, test2. Okay, so I'll show you what I do with it. How do we begin? Okay, so as you know that this is a pre-configured thing. I want to configure it with my SSH key. The tool which I use is a solution that how basically it was given by Ubuntu some 10 years ago, and and now every cloud basically supports it. So it's called cloud-init. So basically it is about, when you take a cloud image, how do you set up create a user on it, or create a pre-configured packages. Suppose you want VIM on it, or Emacs on it, or something else. Maybe you want Kubernetes on it, or Docker on it. So you can, even without booting it for the first time, you can have everything there. Okay, during the first boot. So this is a package that supports it. And how does it do is, cloud init supports two ways to initialize basically cloud. Sorry for the background noise. Cloud init basically stands for cloud initialization tool. So it is an initialization tool for your cloud machines. So it supports two ways. If you are on the cloud, then it supports network configuration, like, right. So like from an HTTP server, it will pick up like what you want, like SSH keys and all. So if you are on a local machine like me, you want to do it on a KVM, then it will what it will do is, you can prepare a CD or an ISO. You can give your configuration like what you want. Let me show you by an example. Okay. So let me do one thing. I had already written an example before, so I'll just copy that initial example. CentOS test1. Okay. So I had a cloud init user data, something called cloud init user data. So let's see what I have. So I have given a password here. Although there are options. If you understand, like cloud init, you begin by writing #cloud, so it stands for like your cloud configuration. So I have written that my password should not expire, although you can expire it for the first time the user boots in. Okay, the third line means that no password for sudo access. So if you do sudo ls, it will not ask you your password. And this is my password, ROOT. It's not double O, it's R00T. So you can write anything else. You can write ROOT 123. you can just write 1 2 3. Okay, so this is how you can write encrypted password also. So you can read about how to write encrypted. I want to show you the simplest case. Okay, you have written your password, you have written change password, it won't expire, sudo. And now the next thing, SSH authorized keys. So what is this SSH authorized key? This is something that I will copy from my, I'll create a SSH key pair, and using the command called SSH key gen. Okay, so this is SSH key gen. Sorry. So there's something called SSH key generator like this. Okay, so this is your command. Basically it will generate, but I have it already generated, so I won't do this step. So I can I can redo it, or I just cancel it because I have already done it. I'll just show you my keys because I'm using it at a lot of places. So it's my it's in my .ssh directory. So if I see it has ID RSA and ID RSA pub.
So
ID
you will be
RSA
using this public key.
yeah, it's a public key and it's a private key. You should understand which is your public key and which is your private key. Okay, so public key has .pub. So don't make a mistake. This is your private key and you have to protect it. Don't paste it anywhere on the server. But public
Correct.
key you can give to anyone. Okay, so unless my private key should be secured to me only, and it's very basic about SSH authentication. This is the way you authenticate yourself to any cloud instance running on Amazon or
Correct. Correct. Correct.
anywhere else. Okay, so this is my I'll just do a cat to it. Okay,
Mhm.
so I'll print it here. So this is my so I'll copy this, and I had already done it, but I'll just remove this. I'll delete this and paste what I had copied there. So dd is vim command to delete. So SSH authorized key, it's a YAML file, and the content of SSH authorized key is a key. So that's why it is an array. So when I have array, I do dash, and then I paste what I copied. So this is my public key. Okay, so this is my public key, and then I uh, write it on write it as I create a new file, user data user data for CentOS, and it is cloud config .yaml. So this is my file, user data hyphen CentOS cloud config.yaml. So I've written this file. I'll just do an exit. I do ls. So user data sent to us cloud config.yaml. So this is my data which I need to configure with the cloud instance. Okay, and now the way to create a virtual machine is by using virt install. It takes some arguments, and I'll explain what those arguments are. So first of all, if I do man virt install, basically I want to show you the man page of virt install. So if I scan through this, it has something called cloud config. Okay, or I'll just search through this file. So it has something called cloud-init. Okay, so it supports cloud-init. So it has an option for cloud-init. This virt install command. So basically, it takes the file I created. It takes as an argument in cloud-init. Okay, so this is very recently added. This was not there before 2020. So this option was added in around September 2020. Otherwise, you had to write your own scripts, which I had done previously. But now I will use, since this option is there. So first time, the data which you created right now in a file, it will create an ISO. This virt install, this cloud init option in the virt install command will create an ISO of it, and only put that ISO on the first time the machine boots. Second time it's not required, because cloud init happens only during the initialization time or the first boot of the machine. Okay, more on it later, but let me try to show you by an example. Okay, so I had previously done it, so I'll just scan through my history of how to use the virt install. So history, grep virt install. So, for example, like this is my one of the things like I used previously. Okay, so
Can you also paste this command on the chat box?
yeah, I'll give you this command. I'll run it once and then I'll paste this command to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So you know, word install name. Okay. So I'll just format it. So it's CentOS 7. So so I'll write the cloud init user the file name of the client cloud init. I'll first make a mistake and then tell you that it's saying that what the mistake is. Okay. So my VMs the something like it takes two arguments. One is the one is the name of the cloud init file, and the other is like this size. I can write 15 or 20. I'll write take the disk size as 20. Like what is the amount? What's the data amount of data that you want to is going to require. So 20 GB, I think 20 GB will suffice for any non-trivial use case. So backing store means that, which hard disk, basically which cloud image I'm going to take. So Word, VMS, or I'll call it CentOS test one, where I have my CentOS 7 dot qcow 2. So we'll talk about what is qcow 2. What's the image? It's basically a format of the virtual machine image. Okay. So we can talk more about that later. So I'll just show you some simple example. Okay. Okay. So starting install, it failed. Okay. It's okay. It fails. So no such file or directory cloud init user data because it says I don't have it. So let me see. So I have a different name now, so I'll have to use this name. So I'll just copy the name and I'll just change it. Okay. So user data CentOS now backing store. So backing store, it takes the complete absolute path. So home, Daljit, Word, VMS, CentOS, test one. Let me give a wrong name. Okay, like that. Purposely, I'm writing CentOS 71.qcow2. So it will tell you that the backing store is not there. Okay. It says inaccessible backing store because this image is not there. Okay, no such file or directory. So domain installation does not appear to have been successful. So the point is that it is. I know that it is CentOS 7.qcow2. I'll just show it to you here what it is basically. So this is CentOS 7.qcow2, which I want to use as a backing store. You only need to have one file, and you can use it for when you are using the backing store option. It means that take this data and create a new disk. So this remains untouched. Okay. So my path is pwd. This is my path. So which I am copying. So this is my path, and then it is CentOS 7.qcow2. I'll verify that I have it. I have the right path. I'll just I'll just paste it again so that there is no mistake this time. So this is my path and this is my file name. Okay. So you just see the time. It's it is 5:50 right now, and in a single minute you will have once it runs correctly, you will have your in 1 minute, in less than 1 minute, you have your virtual machine ready, and that is what you want to automate. Whenever you need a machine, you should be able to do you should be able to have your machine in less than 1 minute. So you see that it's applying. It has copied my SSH RSA, okay, into the new virtual machine. Okay, you can see
Great,
that.
great. Yes.
Yeah. So now I have my localhost login. Okay, and you will even see the IP addresses here, the which is created. Okay, so my machine is now ready to use. Okay, so if you see, the by default the username is, since it's CentOS machine, the by default the username is CentOS. If it is a Fedora machine, the by default username will be Fedora. So it's CentOS. Okay, the password was R and
Zero zero.
00T123, which I typed. Of course, you cannot see the password, but now I am into my machine, and it is less than 1 minute, Manish. It's
Superb,
less than
superb.
1 minute. We have the machine ready. Now you see the IP address. Okay. Now you see the IP address. Now I want to check. I want to verify that my SSH is copied. Okay. Okay. So I this is my host machine. From here I'll do SSH. I'll write my Fedora, like I'll write my I'll write my okay. So we'll be closing soon. So we'll just go. It's sent to us. So at IP address. Okay. So now it says, can you log in? So this is it. This is
We
how
are in
we
the
are able
machine.
to do SSH. Yes. Do you have any other question, Manish? Otherwise, we can.
I think no, the major ones you solved already. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's superb.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Daljit. Thank you, Daljit.
Yeah. Yeah. Take care. Take care. Have a great day ahead. Yeah.
You too. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.